Here is a fun, unique thing. I kind of figured out really early, but never really knew what to do with it. And it involves manipulating the portamento 3 rows of knobs in the middle level, the far left knob, far right knob. Turn the far right knob to like middle, turn the far left knob to middle, and you have a sequence going. Portamento is going to want to slur the notes. And if you have a lot of notes, it's gonna sound like but with the decay set, the portamento can slur the next note, skip the note entirely, and end up sounding like this. This mic does not make any sense until you hear it, but this is what it does. I'll start with the portamento on 0% and the decay and sustain on 100%. The sustain has to be on 0% for this effect to work, but for right now I just want to show you the sound of the sequence that we're messing with. I don't have all the steps activated. I guess I'll show you how I made this. The song is in A major, and an A major scale sounds like this. Has a G sharp, an F sharp, and a C sharp. Because it's any scales that there are no, like there's a C sharp major scale and there's an F sharp major scale. Other than that, there are no other sharped major scales. There's all kinds of, there's A flat major scale, B flat major scale. There's even I think you can say there's a C flat major scale, D flat major scale, E flat major scale, F flat major scale, which kind of doesn't make sense because it would just be E, but it exists. F flat major scale and G flat major scale. But there's only 2 sharped scales with the sharp in the name, and that's C sharp and F sharp. The rest, if it has no flat in the name of the key and it has no sharp in the name of the key still is going to be written as if it's having sharps. So that's why it's C sharp and F sharp and G sharp instead of D flat and G flat and A flat. That's kind of complicated stuff, but maybe I can get into that next time. So what I was doing in the key of A flat is I was basically playing so there is a note in there that is not in A flat, and that's this note. That is a G, and G should be G sharp. But I only glance over it. Call it a blue note in jazz. Like, it's not in the scale, but if you go over it really quickly, it adds flavor to it. And now I'll show you how it's sequenced. Now that you kind of know what it sounds like, up to speed, what the whole Portamento and Decay deal is. Turn the sustain to 0. Doesn't really matter because the notes are so close together that the sustain doesn't really matter. But you'll hear the decay. We'll put it at 50%. So, like I was saying in the beginning, the Portamento slurs the adjacent notes, but since the decay has gone down, the Portamento only plays notes that are far enough away for the decay to get back to 0. So, with the Portamento on, it's going to slur adjacent notes, and lowering the decay means that the machine's only going to play notes that are adjacent to each other but are spaced far enough away that their decay can bring them back to 0, so that the Portamento doesn't slur them together. Because right now the Portamento is slurring them together, but since the sustain is really low, it's at 0, it gives this a unique effect. And I'm using just these 4 steps right now because it sounds cool like this. That sounds pretty cool with, if you adjust the decay, it changes what notes it's going to skip. Now I'm going to see what happens when you put the decay up really high. That's what happens when the decay is really long. See what the rest of the sequence sounds like at this. once again, this is what the sequence sounds like. So, right now it's being played with the flux on, the tempo delay, the LFO doesn't matter because that's not on, but in the end, the tempo is going to be 1/2. But we're going to record it at 1/4 so that it's easier. So let's set it to 1/4, let's erase all of it. And we can probably go through the whole thing. We're going to lay down the bass line first, which I will include a link to, the sheet music. But the line lies around in F sharp to G to D sharp. So F sharp to, wait, that's no, C, B. Oh yeah, F sharp to A. So the phrase lies around this main theme of F sharp to A to D sharp. No, I mean C sharp. Is the beginning of every part of this phrase. And then you go to this G, which is not in A major, but like I said, it's the blue note, so we just grace by it. And then B right above that, and then to the C sharp again. That's basically how the whole thing goes, except for there's a turnaround after each phrase. And the first one is just, so it goes. And the second one is, that's the turnaround to the second 4 parts of the sequence. Third part is just like the first part. And then the last part, instead of going up, it goes down. Instead of going, it goes. And then we're going to lay over that these bass notes. That's for the first 4, and then the second 4 will be, and the third 4 would be, so that's going up the scale and then down the scale. Now we're going to start in the middle of the scale, go up, and then end on the lowest note though. So that's A, B, C sharp to F sharp. And then the last part, the last turnaround of the whole sequence, which is going to be in these last 2 steps, is just F sharp and G sharp. So it'll sound like. That's the sequence. Try it. Adding, basically, now you put it at 1/2 tempo and it doubles the speed. Now add the portamento. Like I said, before you have to have the sustain down. also have to have it on octave, or anything but poly. Kind of like that. Ooh, that's kind of cool.